Now, part of working in Toolbox is understanding the data and troubleshooting some problems that may arise as you're working in projects. Now, they don't happen all the time, but when they do, you got to figure out where do you go and what do you look for when you want to fix it. So that's what we're going to go through in this next video. We have a little issue that we need to take care of, so we'll walk through the steps on how to play detective and fix this issue. Let's get started. Now, this cabinet may look familiar. We've been using this tall wall oven cabinet in some of our other videos. And when I was going through the prompts, I noticed under the drawer options that we had this drawer type prompt name is empty. And we have all the list options there, but no value. So then I thought maybe going into the subassemblies, we should at least be able to see the drawer type there. Under component drawers, under drawer options, and still top drawer type and bottom drawer type are blank. But what was confusing is that we still have these drawers in there. So they're coming in, but it's just not quite right when you look at all the prompts and you're expecting to see something and it's just not there. So now I'm in this, actually don't need to be in the nested subassembly. So just in our S workbook, Bloom Lager box, it's giving us a quantity, part name, going to top drawer type. And it does give us a top drawer type of a Bloom Lager box. So sometimes it's not always easy to figure out exactly what's going on, but something to be aware of is the fact that a lot of these names are case sensitive or the spelling has to be exact, right? So notice here that we have this Legra box with a capital B, and I noticed under the control type data, that Legra box has got a lowercase. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. So first off, let's double click inside of the cell and see where those options are even coming from. Okay, so we have this formula up here. So we'll just use our formula editor button so we can break this thing down. Here we have an if statement. So if statements read, if this first part is true, then give me this. Otherwise, give me that. So if top component option equals drawer, yep, it's true. The value is going to be global drawer options. All right, so let's go check that out inside of our global variables. So it's coming in from the global variables, but we can't change it here. This is telling us that it's being controlled in another interface. So default drawers is under the hardware wizard. Now we go to the hardware wizard and default drawers is still blank. Okay, but it shouldn't be coming in blank from our template. So this is going to require going into Workbook Designer. We're going to do it just at the project level. You can test it, make sure it's working properly. And then if it is, we can do it at the template. So open up Workbook Designer. And now under the H workbook, this is where we had that blank prompt name. Under the prompts tab. And now we're looking for default drawers. Well, that's the problem. If you go over to column F, we have our drawer options. So this is the list that we have under the global variable drawer options. So to add to that list, you go back into the G workbook. There's our drawer options. So it's under our factory lookup table list options. Or just going a little bit under the hood here, but I think this is going to be helpful. So it lets you see where all this data is and how it's all working together. So this was table list options. There it is, drawer options. And then under your region, I'm in the US. So this is where I would go to add any new drawer that we want to use. So then it shows up in our list. Okay, so now just going back into our H workbook. Now there's no formula here, so as long as it's matching the name inside of our list there, we'll fix that issue that we had with our blank prompt name. This one I also noticed was blank. Default file drawers, metabox. Let's see, needs to be all caps on metabox. Now we should be good. We can go ahead and close out of our Workbook Designer, save the changes in H. F, we didn't make any changes in F, so we don't need to save that. And now back into the hardware wizard. Let's see what this looks like under the drawers tab. So there you go. That looks a lot better. Default file drawers and default drawers have that value. Take a look at our local prompts, drawer options, also good there. And the subassemblies too, look good. So if you come across something in your library that's not quite behaving the way that it should, hopefully the tips that we learned in this video will help you troubleshoot those issues. All right, so that wraps up another training lesson in Toolbox. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.